So I'm Mike Nugent. I'm the head of Hitachi Zero Carbon for Europe. So Hitachi Zero Carbon is really changing the way that operators look at and approach the electrification challenge. The initial step that most organisations take is they look at pilots. They look at one or two depots. They then think of it as a pure engineering challenge. So you think, well, how much power do I need to get in? So what's my grid connection? Then I've got to get some charge points. And then I've got to buy some electric vehicles. The issue that we have though is twofold, and it creates a geometric complexity challenge. So the first is you end up with, as you scale from one or two depots, you've got more and more charge points you've got to install, you've got more and more grid connections to integrate with, and then you've got to think about, well, what type of software do I want to bring in? So that's one set of challenges. The next is then thinking about, well, how do I start operationally managing this in the most efficient manner? And really the big question that comes right to the fore, we've talked a lot about the technology, a lot about our smart solutions and the way we can help minimise the risk for organisations. But actually the biggest question they're always going to end up having is, why isn't my bus being charged? And the problem is, of course, is that the reason that a bus is not charged could be one of many different reasons. If you think about all of the different touch points in a depot, electric depot, you've got the grid connection, you've got the flow of power from the grid connection to the charge points through a transformer. So you've got SCADA systems that are running there. You've then got the software that runs on the charge point. You've got the hardware of the charge point, could be problems there. You've then got the vehicle itself, and there could be problems with the battery, or could be a problem with the connection to the charge point. And of course, then you layer all of that with human error. So there are so many different reasons as to why a bus or a light commercial vehicle might not be being charged. And so what we're all about is then going, well, if you then scale that across multiple depots, you're increasing the number of touch points arithmetically, but you're increasing the likelihood of failure and the problem-solving challenge geometrically. It just becomes bigger and bigger. So if you've got a problem as to why your vehicle is not being charged, it becomes really difficult to work out. Our job within Hitachi Zero Carbon is to go, we can simplify all of that. Through the Hitachi Lumada Zero Carbon Cloud, we can actually provide them with real-time access to information across all of that. We provide all of the integration. We do all of the integration testing between the vehicles and the charge points, making sure that the electrons can flow into the bus, and that we're recording how much is going into the bus and when it's going into the bus. And if there are any problems, we can flag those issues early, and we can do some early diagnosis of those issues. And we can support the client in terms of fixing and remediating those issues. Sometimes we can actually close down an issue before it's become an issue. So we can say, right, let's just reboot and get that charge going into that bus. So our piece in this is recognizing that you can look at it, if you look at it individually, an engineering challenge, you can put in charge points, you can buy buses, you can get grid connection. But actually operationally, you are putting in a whole new system. And so we're addressing that systemic challenge and making sure that organisations can really understand how they can optimise the delivery of power into those buses, but also address the issues that are likely to happen in delivering that. It's like, you know, we're so used to a system for vehicles where you buy in diesel, and they've all got tanks for diesel, and then you just fill them up. We got used to that, but in the early days, people were asking the same questions. What do I do when it goes wrong? What if there's a fire? You know, all of those questions that we now get about buses and about vehicles. What ifs? Our job is to take all of those what ifs away, look at it as a system, and deliver that single pane of glass through the Hitachi Lumada Zero Carbon Cloud to deliver a system in the most efficient and effective manner.